some of you guys, like Steven, might remember specifically, we used to recommend, hey, if you want to use our service to back an image off-site, you can do that. Just when you create the image, you should probably split it up into smaller chunks so that the performance is better. Well, ImageStream solves that. You don't need to do this anymore, but you do have the option to create it, in smaller chunks. So we'll just say, okay, that's good. Let's go next. It gives us a summary of what we've created and finish, and I have scheduled a new backup job, and it's going to be ready to go. So there are already backups running, so let's go through what recovery looks like, especially when we have incrementals. So if we go to this option for restore, this restore is to overwrite an entire volume. What's a little more useful and more common is to do explore backup, and you hit browse and you will just select one of these jobs. Okay, sure. Gives us a little summary, and then it says, all right, you have backup job 7, and backup job 7 has a ton of incrementals. Which one do you want to recover to? Traditionally, you would have to recover, to get to 17, you'd have to recover first the full, and then 1, 2, 3, all the way through 17. Well, this is more intelligent, where it just automatically assumes, or automatically puts in, okay, we're going to have to append these things. So it makes recovery a lot simpler. So we'll just pick the most recent, hit next. This is, okay, well, where do you want to put it? Well, let's just recover it and create to a virtual drive S. Okay, so that S doesn't currently exist. This is going to create it for us. So, okay, well, let's go ahead and do that, and I'll hit next. And that gives you the file chain. It's going to recover all these items for you, so you don't have to do it manually. Then you hit finish. And then we have the ticker starts. It's going to do its thing. And now it shows me, okay, we have virtual drive S, and we've recovered which is our Exchange server. So we've recovered that. So now you have this virtual drive S. So now let's say, okay, well, what we really need to do is we need to recover something from the Exchange server for one of our users. One of our users deleted an email with Nortel or something. So we say, okay, let's open the source file. So we're going to browse to what we just recovered. So we go to our S drive, go to Exchange, and then go to the mailbox, and we're going to look for the EDB file, which is the Exchange database file. It's going to automatically assume where the logs are, then you hit OK. If they're in a different spot, you can, of course, direct them if you need to. And now it loads up what we have. So we have different options for recovery. We can define just a PST file and export all this information to a single PST. That's more of a digital discovery type of thing. You have an employee who's suing the company, or you're suing the employee for intellectual property violation, something of that manner, and you need to, or you're merging companies, you need to prove IP. You could export your entire mail database to a single PST and provide this to the lawyers. And it makes it very simple and fast. This is a very expensive and very niche service to be involved in. Anyone in here currently offer digital discovery or electronic discovery? Or been looking into it at all? No, not too many. It's a rather specialized part of recovery, and we actually have a firm, not headquartered here in LA, but a big office here in LA that actually evaluated our service for the better part of 6 months, like super deep dive. And Calvin says didn't even know what that is. They did a super deep dive into our backup program, the file and folder system, among tons of other systems out there. And they specialize in electronic discovery. And to describe how niche this is, when AT&T, what was it? AT&T merged with MCI, I think it was. When they had that merger, the court will roll down, okay, you have 30 days to prove IP. We need to get everything from you guys that you own. One of the teams was 8 days late, and it cost them $10 million a day that they were late. So an $80 million cost for being late and not having good electronic discovery in place. And so this firm specializes in this, and they were on that case on the side that wasn't late, and they chose our service to use because of how we do the archiving and the featuring and the versioning, and make it really simple to do that. But anyways, not to get too much into electronic discovery. Okay, so typically you would just say, okay, well, we have a live Exchange server, and we just need to recover a mail that one of our users deleted. So we say, okay, great, let's load up the Exchange server, and these permissions right now that are validating against my Windows user that I'm logged in as. So okay, great. So let's just go ahead and search. So, okay, we got to search through. We can browse here and say, okay, we're going to search through specifically user 1. And he said it was an email that had to do with Nortel. So we search. So we'll say find now. Then give us all these emails. We say, oh, is it this one? Management guide. No, that's not the one. Okay, so we scroll down here. Is this the one? Management guide. No, that's not the one. And we keep going down the list. Okay, this is the one we want. And we say, okay, great. So we can take this email, go to user 1, and then just drag and drop it into their inbox. Done. I just recovered it. Well, let's say you needed to do all these emails. You could do that no problem too. Just shift select and drag and drop them all. Let's say we wanted to search across our whole mailbox, just everything. Fine now. Now I have all these other emails. We could save this report, or this would be something where we would target a PST and say, okay, any email that our company's ever had with Nortel, super simple. So that's really nice. Also, let's say you're migrating hardware. You can just drag your source, pull it onto your new hardware, and say, okay, and it'll even say, hey, there are some mailboxes here that don't currently exist where you're recovering us. Do you want us to create those for you? And those of you who are familiar with this will realize this saves you a little step per mailbox. And even though we're talking about 3 mailboxes right now, one step for 50 users or 100 users, that's a lot of steps you're saving. Usually you'd have to mount the EDB and then set the mailboxes and then recover the information to each one. This way you just drag and drop it all. We can even drag and drop just an individual user. No problem. So it's super simple to use for granular recovery at the mail level, the attachments, the flexibility that lets you. So this is pretty common for your day-to-day use. I mean, who in here doesn't have somebody that they're managing that needs some sort of basic recovery like this on an almost daily basis? I know in our office we certainly have a couple of users who are incessantly deleting mail that we got to recover for them. And that was it. That was ServerSave. ImageStream. All it is you install ImageStream on your staging machine. So your staging machine, again, if you for more detail, if we go to our knowledge base, here you go, staging. So we have this little diagram here. Where you can see that you would install an image creator on the servers that you actually want to create images of, and you would define the destination for those images to some sort of staging machine, which again, we don't require that you buy from us. Huge savings just in that alone. Now you can just put a Windows 7 box together, 8 gigs of RAM, enough hard drive space to handle all the images that are going to it, and the overhead needed for the offsite backup. And then this staging machine basically becomes the on-site backup machine. So you can, put a RAID configuration on it, whatever you like, but it also becomes a dedicated machine to back up images off-site. And because images are large, you're going to need a separate machine that's not production to be doing that processing. Otherwise, you're going to be, shooting yourself in the foot and reducing your production speed on these types of things. Then the file and folder you install directly on workstations and laptops, and then the mobile app, of course, same type of thing. You just install the mobile app on the mobile device. So this is just a little map of how this all works out. But yeah, you would just say, okay, set up online backup. I would select, my backup drive location, which is here. So I'd either back up everything in here or just a few things. And depending on your retention policy, you would probably just select the whole thing. Hit next, and then really depends on what you want to do here. The incrementals you could back up on a daily basis, but the full backup can take a good amount of time. You're looking at whatever your upload speed is. So maybe your image only gets backed up off site. You do a monthly backup procedure with your image. So you create an image on the first of every month and incrementals throughout there. Again, the reason that we used to do weekly full image backup and then incrementals throughout the week was because of how long it would take to recover if you had 18 incrementals. But we just saw how simple that was. Again, we didn't have to recover each incremental individually. It just did it for us. So now we can go to a much simpler procedure and do a full backup on the first of the month or on the 30th, whatever you want to do, and then incrementals throughout the month. And then you set up your backup here to be daily, and it gets the incremental every day, and then you only have to deal with the new image, the new full image, going off-site once a month, because that could take a good amount of time, about an hour per gig, depending on your upload speed and the health of the machine. So you want to allow yourself a good amount of time to do that. So we have different settings here. You can set your off-site schedule, email reporting, and that's it. So now now the upload agent's running, and that's it. Any questions on what we've gone through? Andre says, no, I like it. All right, well, again, the program is great. Our partner specialists are terrific. They're going to go through with you a very specific ROI model, a return on investment, to make sure that the program that you're entering is specifically appropriate for you and your business. So they're going to look into things like, do you have any campaigns that you're going to start off with? What about your existing users? And they'll make sure that the program you're coming in on board with is appropriate for you and that you're going to make money doing this. Because at the end of the day, of course we want to provide good services, but we also want to get paid for those services. So they're going to help you out find a program that's going to be good for you. And again, that $379 a month for our base package, that's a terabyte of cloud space and 5 server-save licenses that cover not only image-based backup and recovery, but Exchange granular recovery. Not many people include that with a single license. Usually it's a whole other ballpark. You can really get your costs down and really enter the market with a Ninja offering. So 877-896-3611, call your partner specialist. The Kindle code is 73DKS. I'll put that in the chat. Give that to your partner specialist and they'll enter you in the drawing. Again, that's 73DKS. So that's the Kindle code, and then they'll put you in the drawing and get you set up with whatever you need. Any questions? Let's open it up to Q&A. All right, it looks like we got everything pretty much answered. So thank you everyone for coming on board and for your participation. We really appreciate it. And we're looking forward to having you on board in our program. So again, 877-896-3611, extension 1, I believe, will get you right to our partner specialist. And we look forward to it. Again, my name is Derek Wood, Partner Product Manager here at SOS. Thank you.